Hello, everyone, and welcome to West Hollywood's Veterans Day Ceremony 2020. I first want to start out by welcoming all of our veterans whose service is unparalleled, whose sacrifice is immeasurable. I also want to welcome their family members who shared in their service and sacrifice, and to thank them for all that they have done and all that they have endured as a result of being a family member to someone serving their country. And I also want to thank the friends and loved ones of our veterans who support them daily in their life's journey, who have heard their stories, who have shared their pain, and who continue to walk with them in love. Though the city's Veterans Day celebration is virtual this year, the city remains committed to acknowledging this important day and the many contributions of the veterans who live in our community, who have served our community, and the veterans in our region. We thank you for participating with us today. And now it is my honor and pleasure to introduce Andy Harland. Andy is the director of Vietnam veterans in the media, and in 2016, he was selected by State Assemblymember Richard Bloom as Veteran of the Year for our Assembly District, District 50. We are so proud that Andy Harland is a resident of West Hollywood and always helps us every year with this event, and he will lead us in our Pledge of Allegiance.
Good morning. Happy Veterans Day, West Hollywood. Happy Veterans Day, America. Happy Veterans Day to all my fellow veterans. My name is Andy Harland. I am co-chairman of the Sal Gariello Veterans Memorial Committee. Would you please join us in our annual Pledge of Allegiance by putting your hand over your heart and repeat after me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. On behalf of the Veterans Memorial Committee here in West Hollywood, which includes Ms. Donna Sauer and Mr. Richard Settle, thank you for joining us today for our Veterans Day celebration, and please stay safe.
Thank you so much, Andy. We are a better community because you are a part of it. Thank you. Now, if you all would please join me in a moment of silence as we remember and honor all of the people who have served and sacrificed their lives and those of their families in service to our great nation. I'd now like to acknowledge my colleagues, Mayor Pro Tem John Heilman, Councilmember John D'Amico, Councilmember John Duran, and Councilmember Lauren Meister.
Hello, everyone. This is Councilmember Lauren Meister. Thank you for joining us for this virtual commemoration of Veterans Day. We're sorry we can't all be together at Sal Guariello Veterans Memorial, but we're still safer at home, and we want you all to stay healthy. I want to personally thank all of the veterans and their families for their service and sacrifice. We appreciate you for what you've done for our country so that we and future generations can enjoy all that America stands for. These last 4 years have been difficult. We've seen our democracy attacked, but we've also seen people getting involved in protecting our democracy like never before. So now, more than ever, we appreciate your service and sacrifice, your bravery and courage. You have inspired us to be the best we can be. Thank you, and I hope this Veterans Day brings love, hope, and peace.
Now I have the honor of introducing our dignitaries who have joined us today for our Veterans Day ceremony. First, I would like to welcome our distinguished Congressman, the Honorable Adam Schiff.
Hello everyone, I'm Congressman Adam Schiff and I proudly represent California's 28th Congressional District, which includes the beautiful city of West Hollywood. On this Veterans Day and every day, we honor the courage and patriotism of our nation's service members. Veterans and those who serve in our armed forces and represent the best that our country has to offer. Their service, their sacrifice, and their willingness to put their own lives on the line to defend this nation and our freedoms deserve nothing less than the utmost respect and gratitude from all of us, every day. We owe our veterans a debt that can never be fully repaid, and I am committed to honoring the promises made to them when they entered service, ensuring they have the benefits, healthcare, housing, educational opportunities, and more that they deserve. We will never stop working to ensure that when our courageous service members return home, they have the resources and support befitting their exceptional patriotism. Let us work together to better serve those who have proudly served us and our country. Happy Veterans Day. Thank you for your service to our nation, and please stay safe and healthy. Thank you.
Please welcome our LA County Supervisor representing District 3, our district here in West Hollywood, the Honorable Sheila Kuehl.
Hi, I'm LA County Supervisor Sheila Kuehl, and it's my great pleasure to be here with you to celebrate Veterans Day. Veterans are wonderful role models, not only because of their courage and love of country, but also because veterans know how to come together and get things done. Veterans understand the value of unity. In the service, you learn that working together, you always accomplish more. So in this crazy, crisis-filled year, I'd like to especially thank veterans for that reminder. I hope in the coming years we can move forward with the values that unite us: equality, justice, inclusion, and love. Because that's the best shot we've got to build a better Los Angeles and a better America. Thank you so much.
Now I'd like to welcome our state senator, hailing from the city of Santa Monica, our friend, the Honorable Ben Allen.
Hi, everybody. I'm Ben Allen. I'm so honored to represent the community of West Hollywood in the California State Senate. It's been such a great tradition to participate in West Hollywood's Veterans Day ceremony, and I always like going out to that beautiful memorial, reading the moving quotes about the sacrifice that helped to create this free society that we live in, that we need to continue to defend. So this is a moment for us to reflect on the difficulties of the past year. It's certainly been a very strange one, a difficult one for all people on planet Earth, let alone here in the United States. It's been a year where a lot of people have stepped up and sacrificed. First responders, our men and women in uniform, folks who stepped up in our healthcare industry, our educators, law enforcement, and people who also took to the streets to ask for social change. It's been a difficult year, but it's a year for us to reflect both on the meaning of what it is to be American, on our core values, on our freedoms, and on the importance of our continuing to hold our government accountable at the highest levels. And so on this Veterans Day, I want to salute our veterans, the folks who stepped up when the nation needed them to defend our country and defend what we hold dear. And I want to thank the entire community of West Hollywood for continuing to honor its veterans and for being a community of free spirit, of inclusion, of vivacity, and one that I'm so proud to get to represent in our California legislature. Thank you to our veterans, and a very happy Veterans Day to everyone.
Also from the city of Santa Monica, I'd like to welcome our state assembly member, the Honorable Richard Bloom.
Hi folks, Richard Bloom here, wishing everyone a happy Veterans Day, especially our veterans who serve as daily reminders of the sacrifice that keeps our democracy strong. Today I am reminded of West Hollywood's very own Vietnam vet and former Air Force Airman Andrew Harland. It was my privilege to honor Andy in 2016 as our Veteran of the Year at a ceremony in the state capitol. Of course, 2020 has been a challenging year, but let's remember that America has faced challenges before: pandemics, fascism, wars, and each time America has overcome these challenges with our greatest ability, our unity in diversity. That diversity is what gives this great nation such strength, in my opinion, and when we unite our diverse backgrounds to achieve a common goal, there's really nothing that can stand in our way. Today, hundreds of thousands of Americans serve in our armed forces, bringing with them their diverse background that increases their understanding of ethnicity, race, religion, gender. Our military shows us every day how we can unite and how America benefits. And let's not forget that when brave veterans return home from across the globe, their re-entry into society makes us better because they lead us by example. I hope that we all take a moment this Veterans Day to reflect on the contributions of our veterans and what that service means to us. Thank you, and happy Veterans Day, West Hollywood.
Next, I'd like to welcome our keynote speaker for our Veterans Day ceremony this year. Lieutenant Shawn Horvath is a native to Okeechobee, Florida. He graduated from the United States Naval Academy with a Bachelor of Science in Systems Engineering. Upon graduation, he moved to Yokosuka, Japan. He served as the Repair Division Officer on board USS Blue Ridge from 2015 to 2017, and then served as the navigator on board USS Shiloh from 2017 to 2019. He's currently the Assistant Chief Diversity Officer at the United States Naval Academy in Annapolis, Maryland, and he's also my cousin. So many times for Veterans Day, I've talked about the service of my family members, my grandfather on my mother's side, and our grandfather served in the Army. Two of our uncles served in the military. This record of service is something that my cousin Shawn has continued in his life, and I'm just so proud of him and so grateful for the relationship that we've developed. And I know it was very special to me when he reached out, when he decided he was going to come out and share his story with me and talk to me a little bit about what that was like for him. And I just thought his story might be something that would be really impactful for our community this year, for people who might be considering a career in military service or just trying to understand military service for folks in our community. I know that Shawn's experience is extraordinary. He's an extraordinary human being, and I'm so proud to call him my cousin. Turn it over to you, Shawn.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Lieutenant Shawn Horvath, and I'm an active duty member in the U.S. Navy. I want to thank Mayor Lindsey Horvath and Representative Schiff for allowing me to be a part of today's Veterans Day celebration. Whenever I think of the U.S. military and the privilege of serving, I think the whole organization experience can be boiled down to one word, and that's opportunity. Now, opportunity not just in the way of a simple chance of getting to do something. The military is so much more than an experience on a ship, an aircraft, or on the ground in a foreign country. The military has given me not only the opportunity to serve, but also the opportunity to find out who I am. It has helped shaped my outlook on the possibilities of life and has also allowed me to improve the lives of those brave sailors and Marines I've served alongside. I grew up in a small rural town in Florida. My family had a double-wide mobile home on a dirt road until middle school. My childhood wasn't necessarily bad, though. In fact, I look back on it and think it was quite spectacular. We didn't have a fancy lake house or posh vacations, but we did have imagination, and we made the best of what we had. We would play in the front yard after a hurricane and it was flooded, and we'd pretend that we'd have a nice boat and inflatable tubes as we rode a flat piece of plywood behind my father's truck. As a proper Asian American family, we ate rice with almost every single meal and called every familiar Filipino face uncle and auntie as if we were related to the small group who had immigrated here in the past few decades. My mother was also a devoutly religious woman and raised her kids in the church. Marked by my signature bowl haircut, which was given to every Asian boy and every Asian girl in their adolescence, we would march to the seats at one of the many Southern Baptist churches to learn about the moral rights and wrongs to live by. As I got older, though, I started to question the scenes around me. I had seen high school senior after high school senior graduate, go to community college, get a job at a local business in a small town, start their family. I could never really see myself in those shoes, though. I started to look for options away from the town because although it had made me who I had become, I wanted to see more. I applied to the Naval Academy and arrived there the summer of 2011 and was absolutely shocked at how polished lives were in that small nautical town of Annapolis. 4 years flew by, and then I found myself on my way to Japan to start my first job. At this point, I'm 22 in a new country and feeling like a complete imposter because all I'd actually known how to do was exist in that small town back in Florida. I was assigned to a team of 40 people from all different backgrounds of life, and our job was to work together to keep the ship safe. We managed all emergency equipment on board and ensured functionality in times of need. And while I wish I could say that learning about the different ways to fight fires and combat flooding were among the greatest lessons learned, I think it really came down to learning how to build relationships with different types of people. We had people from huge metropolitan areas like New York City, small towns in Indiana, and so many other people from around the world. We showed up to work and cared about each other. We went out of our way to ensure that each of us could succeed, and even though it was my role to technically lead them, I feel like every single day they would teach me more about the human experience than I could ever try to begin to imbue into them. We traveled the world on that ship, and we created friendships that I think still last to this day. I am also a member of the LGBTQ community, and as you can assume, with my very religious background, it was pretty tough feeling comfortable with my identity as I was younger. Going into the military felt like such an atypical path for me to embark upon, but I was part of the lucky generation that didn't feel the harmful effects of Don't Ask, Don't Tell. I walked into the Navy that had recently repealed the legislation and only experienced the tail end of that conversation. I spoke to old veterans who would explain the fear that they lived in as they tried to live their lives and explore their relationships, constantly worried about them being outed by a disgruntled peer or leader. Those veterans who came before me demonstrated such strength and determination in the face of adversity, and I want to thank them so wholeheartedly for their struggle and fight, because without their experiences, I don't think I'd be who I am today. Being gay in the military served as a branch of trust between me and my team. When I shared that very private part of my life with them, served as a moment of connection. The supportive and loving teams that I had the privilege to serve with helped me through relationships and struggles of self-acceptance. I attribute so much of my outlook on life to the members of those teams. They have expanded my horizons and pushed me to feel comfortable in uncomfortable situations. We didn't necessarily care about who you were or where you came from, only that you were willing to support the person next to you, and I wouldn't change any of those experiences for the world. I'm so thankful to have had the opportunity to serve, and I want to thank you for all the support from the West Hollywood community, and thanks again for the chance to speak with you all. I hope you have a wonderful Veterans Day.
Thank you so much, Shawn, and thank you to everyone who participated in our Veterans Day ceremony today. While it was a virtual one, I hope that the spirit of this ceremony can live with us today and at each and every day as we remember the sacrifice of our veterans and we thank them for their service to our country and to our community. This concludes our ceremony. I hope you have a good rest of your day.